It's on to the final race for the Lasker Motorsports-sponsored KZ2 class, the KZ2 final. The ID New Zealand 2010 CIK Trophy. Standing start, a couple of little jumps towards the front, and that looks like Steve Cox just momentarily stalling the number 40.
Yeah, Graham Smythe had to take some pretty alternative action to the grass to get by him, and there was no contact, so it's good to see.
Well, Smythe's got some work to do because he started near the back after his stall at the start of the pre-final. Daniel Bray again, the early race leader in the NI GP Racing chassis.
You see Scott Reddish running wide up through the top there, and that'll certainly hurt him out on those marbles.
Now we're on board for the final with Snow Mooney, and he runs up over the back of the 72 of Tom Curran.
I think Snow thought he was in a rally car.
Don't worry about Snow, mind about our on-board camera.
Yeah. I think the one you want to keep an eye on is Carl Wilson. He's started a fair way up the field now, and he's got a good turn of speed this time, Carl. He's not working his way back through the field, so he's going to be one to keep an eye on, I think.
The Australian Matthew Hayes also starting from deep in the pack after seizing an engine in the pre-final.
Yeah, Matty Hayes obviously coming from Aussie where they run some really long races, Jamie, in very similar conditions. So you've got a few to keep an eye on. We'll be busy.
And there's another one, Richard Moore. He started near the back after suffering some issues in the pre-final. We saw him retire off onto the grass.
Yeah, with these boys coming from the back, it's a matter if they push hard at the start and try and get some places, or we'll just try and make their way through slowly and have a good tyre package at the end. So we'll keep an eye on them.
There's the number 9 Marinello of Matthew Grant, returning to kart sport in the last 18 months. Spent a little bit of time out of the seat. Just caught a glimpse there of Carl Wilson going through shot in the white and green Tony kart. And there he is there, and he's latched himself onto the back of Matthew Grant.
Yeah, these boys had some torrid battles in the heat, so we'll keep an eye on this and see how much rubber's exchanged, but this is going to be a good one to watch.
Daniel Duffy right there with them, so this battle well inside the top 6 as Grant goes off. That had to be a mechanical failure.
Yeah, you can see he's gone for the clutch there, Jamie. He's been on the motor lock up, obviously, so that's a shame because he could have been on form for a podium.
So Matthew Grant out of the race. This is the 54 of Kevin Storr. It's a regular front runner in the Formula S 125 series.
Yeah, Kev Story's jumped up from Formula S, obviously. He's in the ex-Ryan Grant kart from last year, and Kev done a very good job in the rain, and he's plodding along well on the dry too.
Another 2 progress from the 125s is Snow Mooney, and we're on board with him now.
Yeah, Snow will be feeling the pinch. I know he was pretty tired on Friday, and he had another two days to go of it, so he's doing a good job though, Snowy.
He's certainly one of the characters of the sport, as Ryan Grant now has got the attention of Carl Wilson. So second and third, Wilson has fought his way from grid 16 in the pre-final to 6th. That's where he started for this one, and he's gone up the inside of Ryan Grant.
Yeah, he's hustled it on there in turn 2. You know, you've got probably your best shifter kart driver in the country in Ryan Grant, and probably one of your best Yamaha drivers here. So this is going to be a raging battle, this one.
Ryan Grant with multiple New Zealand titles in Open and KZ2. Carl Wilson won a New Zealand Senior Yamaha title in the last couple of seasons.
You can see Carl sort of started to gap him a little bit up through 1, 2 and 3, but Ryan sort of come back at him a little bit as Carl sort of fought it up into 4, so...
There's Daniel Bray, the race leader, the GP Racing NI. The GP chassis, another derivative out of the CRG factory out of Italy.
Yes, that's right, Jamie. Obviously, similar bodywork. You look at them all and they all look very similar with a different sticker kit, and the kart's a different colour, so... You find all the manufacturers are manufacturing a fairly similar kart these days, and they're all painted different colours, so it's good to see these different colours out there.
Well, Daniel Bray is in top form at the moment. He has not been beaten all weekend. He was the top qualifier. He won all of the 3 heats in changeable conditions here on Saturday. We saw him win the pre-final, and you've got to say at the moment, Tony, he is dominating the final here at the moment.
He is very, very adaptable is the word that comes to mind, Jamie. He was very fast in the rain and very fast in the dry. See Leo Bolt doing a good job here, getting out of the way of the boys coming through to lap him.
Yeah, Leo running in the Masters class, Daniel Duffy. Just going through there in the 38, Richard Moore. Now, Richard Moore storming through. Now, he started from position 17, and he's up inside the top 6.
Yeah, he's got a handle on that kart, and he's doing a good job, Richard, and he's leaning over the wheel and getting plenty of attitude on that kart.
And he's the fastest driver out there too, 34.59, fastest lap of the race.
The proof's in the pudding, isn't it? That's what we're going, Jamie. It's time, so we'll see how long he keeps it up, and he should be on form for a good position here.
So Richard Moore working his way forward, chasing down the likes of Bray, Grant and Wilson. Here's our leading Masters driver for the weekend. Steve Brown, who has a lot to do with the organisation of the Mesodat Pro Kart Series.
Yeah, very much a busy weekend for Steve, with 2 boys racing in 2 other classes, racing himself, and obviously the coordinator of a great series. So apart from feeling tired out here, I'll be looking forward to getting home.
72 here. This is Tom Curran from the Hawke's Bay, regular runner in the 125s and the KZ2 classes over the last few seasons. And there's our onboard camera cart. Snow Mooney just in behind him.
Yeah, just see Snow chasing him down a little bit. Here he is on board here. And this is the downhill section we're talking about, through the fast off camber left into the tightening right, where there's plenty of passing opportunities. Nice and smooth on the throttle up into turn 10, a little bit bumpy through here. And then we begin our fast run up onto the straight here. Here's Snow come up through the gears. Kart very twitchy through 1 and 2. See Tom Curran getting out of shape a little bit. Back up onto our top straight, then we come back into our downhill section again.
Great shots there, Snow Mooney. So he's just outside the top 10. This battle is for 13th and 14th, with Steve Brown just up ahead of them.
Yeah, see Snow's head bobbling around a little bit. He's certainly getting a little bit tired. He's running a little bit narrow coming off those corners, getting a little bit lazy. Here we go back up into 1.
Trying to get a run on Curran. He's running in the Intrepid chassis. Curran in the Marinello. Up the inside goes Snow Mooney.
Well, big move by Snowy under brakes as he pulled it off, though. We can't see to our right.
It's a good pass there from Snow Mooney as Ryan Grant and Carl Wilson continue the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Daniel Bray is 4.5 seconds up the track with the race lead.
Yeah, obviously fine with Brian coming back at Carl. It would have slowed them down a little bit, so Carl's going to have to use his head if he sort of wants to push Ryan along and try and get up onto Daniel, then to keep their passing to a minimum.
Here is Bray. 34.6, his fastest lap as the last lap board goes out. Ryan Grant also with a 34.6. Carl Wilson in a 34.6, so they've got similar lap pace. But Daniel Bray just a couple of hundredths quicker in outright lap time as Wilson tries to get around Ryan Grant on the last lap run.
Yeah, Ryan went on the defensive into 2. That's not silly because there's plenty of passing in there, and if anyone's going to do it, Carl will do it.
Certainly knows this place like the back of his hand, but Daniel Bray, what a weekend he's had. Certainly the biggest win for the GP Racing chassis in New Zealand. He's celebrating already out of the final corner. Daniel Bray takes the victory in KZ2 and the ID New Zealand CIK trophy. Daniel Bray, 4.8 seconds clear of defending champ Ryan Grant. Carl Wilson 3rd, followed by Richard Moore, Jason Familo, and Bay of Plenty's Daniel Dufty.
Daniel really cleared out from the start. You got the start well and truly sorted.
Yeah, I actually bogged that one a tad, Rog. Had to have a second grab at the clutch, but yeah, that's the only fault so far this weekend. It was a great weekend for us.
And once you got going, you lap traffic fairly quickly.
Yeah, you know, you get that when you've got a Masters group and the Pro Series, I think they're calling it. But you know, it's great to have a class of this number. You know, it's really good to see this class taking off.
Ryan, tough race here for you, but Daniel really gone, isn't he?
Oh, exactly. You know, he's got a great setup there. You know, he's done a lot of testing. Our new kart, you know, we made the best of a bad situation. You know, to come away with 2nd, we were really happy with because, you know, it kept us close in the points. But, you know, the chassis that we're running at the moment, it's good. It needs a lot more development. So I think for the next round, we'll go back to the old chassis and then see what we can do from there.
Carl, 2nd place here for a while, and then Ryan got through.
Yeah, we started off 6th and got the better start that I've had this weekend, so that sort of helped. And then yeah, caught up to Ryan, and I think I might have charged a bit early getting up to Ryan, and he was able to get back past me whilst we were going through a few lap guys and lost a bit of momentum, but we're pretty happy with 3rd considering how I started 13th in the pre-fight.